I want to fuck Beyonce and Rihanna. We'll see which one of those things happen first.
All right, welcome to Keep It. Wow, I can't even talk. Anyone else notice about our intro? Again, welcome back to Keep It Warriors, presented by KSR Press. I'm at Dallas Fred Kirby, shooting shit with you guys on a Wednesday night. This is kind of old school. We haven't done a Wednesday night in a long time. But what I just noticed about our intro, that video of Mike Jackson getting slapped up by Jake Shields is on our intro. Our boy Andre, you know what I'm talking about? The Mac Dre, he's part of Steezy and Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got into it with Mike again, like yesterday, the day before on Twitter. They were going back and forth, and I just realized he was making fun of. He was shooting at Mike, talking about your most famous thing is or moment is when you got slapped up by Jake Shields at the fucking PI, and Mike did not like that shit. They were firing back and forth. It was kind of hilarious. But I just noticed that about our intro. That video's in there. I'm not taking it off either. I like that video. Nice. Anyway, but welcome back. This gentleman has been a minute since we, well, not a minute, been a couple weeks probably, but plenty has been going on, plenty to talk about today. Kicking off on this weekend's massive fight, nothing to do with MMA. Tyson Fury and Usyk. I don't even know how to say homeboy's full name. Usyk, what is it again? Usyk.
Alexander Usyk, I think it's
Alexander Usyk.
I think it's Usyk. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Alexander. Yeah, that's right. Usyk. Right.
Usyk,
All right.
Yeah.
So going on this weekend in Saudi Arabia. So in Riyadh, I think. Now this fight is actually, was it rebook or it got pushed off because Tyson Fury suffered a cut in training. So, we're back at it again now. So my thing is, how are you feeling about the fight? Are you excited about it?
Well, let me ask you this. I was wondering about this because this should be a huge fight. This okay, to be fair, this is a huge fight. This is a monumentally huge fight. This is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, since fucking Lennox Lewis or maybe Klitschko. I think it was even since Lennox Lewis that the heavyweight belts are all going to be on one man. Yep. Like, this is actually a fucking monumental fight. I want to ask you, do you think that Tyson Fury's performance against Francis Ngannou hurt this fight? Because
100%.
This fight should have a lot more buzz behind it. And even I, which I am very excited for this fight, feel like I should even be more excited. I feel like even in a win, Fury took an L against Ngannou, and that is sort of in a weird way the cloud that looms over this fight. Is it just that, or is there something else? Because I feel like it definitely should be bigger and more talked about than it is, for sure.
My first thought when Francis Ngannou dropped Tyson Fury wasn't, holy shit, Francis about to pull this shit off, and I'm going to be able to talk back to all these little boxing heads been talking shit to me on Twitter, all fucking, all lead up to this fight, talking about, you don't know boxing. And I was like, I'm about to get all kinds of fucking tweets from me. Was not my first thought. My first thought was, oh, no one cares about Fury Usyk now. Because I don't. I mean, I cared about it before, right? I was like, all right, cool. Look, Tyson's going to, he'll pepper Francis, whatever, get decision, go home, right? Maybe finish, who knows? But as soon as he got dropped, dude, I could give a shit about Usyk Fury because it doesn't matter to me now. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it was weird now,
which is very unfair. To be fair, 100%. That is 100%. Very unfair because he did go on to win the fight. But listen, I do think you're right. If Fury would have done to Ngannou what Anthony Joshua did to Ngannou, I feel like this fight would be so much bigger, which is kind of fucking stupid, right? Because, like, of course he probably could do that to Ngannou, but he fucking didn't. And it just goes to show you that every fight does sort of matter. This fight will still be big. It'll still be a decent draw on pay-per-view. But I really feel like his lackluster performance against Francis Ngannou in some weird way will end up hurting this fight. There's definitely a lack of buzz around it for some reason. Maybe it's also because Usyk is not really a big star in the same way that Deontay Wilder or fucking Joshua. Anthony Joshua or some of these other names are. But I don't know. I definitely feel like there's a lack of buzz behind a literally all-time fucking meaningful heavyweight fight.
Honestly, look, it had Fury done to Ngannou, like you said, what AJ did to him, we'd be talking about this being possibly the biggest heavyweight fight of all time, right? I mean, recency bias, whatever you want to call it. What have you done for me lately? Type of deal, right? But it would be the biggest heavyweight boxing match probably of all time. It had that happen. But Ngannou, he put the damper on this thing. He stomped that shit out. It got to the point. It's to the point where like no one's talking about this fight, dude. Like heavy, boxing heads are doing it. We're doing it, but most people aren't even giving a shit about this fight. But I'll ask you this, because it was interesting. Ngannou is in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, he's going to go to the fight. He wants to be seen, maybe possibly get, the loser, the winner of this fight, right? Especially with Fury. But Ngannou and Fury were actually videoed, I think today or yesterday, and they were having words in a hallway, okay? And you couldn't hear Ngannou for shit, but Fury was saying shit like I beat you fair and square, I beat you fair and square. And my first thought, and you tell me what you think, my first thought was, did you? Like, did you beat him? Did you really beat him? Because, yeah, sure, on the record it's a W, but out here in the court of public combat sports opinion, motherfucker, hell nah. You took a mad fat L that night, and it's gonna hit you in the pockets and everywhere else this weekend. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, possibly. Listen, we are MMA fans. The biggest fight this weekend by a country mile is a boxing match. So we're opening up the show talking about that. But make no mistake about it, we are from the MMA world. We're going to root for our guy. But I feel like if we were coming from a boxing point of view, I see what Tyson Fury won the fight, right? Mm-hmm. Ngannou got a knockdown. And when you're really, I guess, sort of trying to judge things fairly because of Ngannou's lack of fucking experience and who Tyson Fury was, it's almost like we still score it as a win. But I can see where Fury's coming from. Like, listen, Jack, I fucking won the match. Fuck off with that fucking moral victory shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you got a moral victory, but that moral victory shit only counts for fucking horseshoes and hand grenades, son.
That's what it is, man. I mean, it's someone told me. I read it on Twitter somewhere. It was like Fury won the fight and Ngannou won the night, because that's all anyone talked about was Ngannou dropping Fury, and should not have won in the fight.
In a completely sort of unrelated fucking point and topic, Ngannou does not have to come to this fight, because I don't give a fuck what happens in this fight because of his piss poor performance against Anthony Joshua. He ain't fighting either one of these gentlemen ever again, not in a boxing match. Even if Fury gets starched out in this fight, the only way I would want to see him fight Ngannou again would be in a cage. I just have no desire to watch them box. Quite frankly, all due respect to Ngannou, I got no desire to watch him box. That was cute what he did against Fury, but I think the Anthony Joshua performance, again, no shade to Ngannou, but that's who he is as a boxer. All due fucking respect. He is an MMA champion, not a boxing champion. These things fucking matter. I know all combat sports sort of get lumped into one, but one thing that this whole fucking Jake Paul experience, cocksucking bare knuckle boxing, and Mike Perry's success should have taught us is that all these different sports are different for a reason, or at least all these different subgenres of combat sports. They are very different for a reason. Just because you're a great boxer does not mean you will be a great MMA fighter or a good judoka, or vice fucking versa.
100% true. 100% true. Now, and Fury and MMA, that'd be funny. But okay, so we're both in agreement here. Ngannou's not in line for the winner whatsoever, especially not after the AJ fight.
No. Listen, Ngannou made a big fucking bag boxing Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. But that part of this little stunt's over. Now comes the bad. Listen, I was the one saying that I thought Ngannou sort of made a bad decision leaving the UFC. I thought he should have stayed there and fought John Jones for his MMA career. I didn't think he'd get the Tyson Fury fight. I'll be fucking lo and behold, he did. Not only did he get that one, but he got that one and an Anthony Joshua fight. But to be fair, I think this little experience is over. He might get fucking Joseph Parker or some shit like that, but he ain't getting no top 3 heavyweight fucking that once he got starched out by Anthony Joshua, that ship is sailed. Now we're into the fucking problematic part of him leaving the UFC, because now he has to go fight MMA in the fucking PFL. Where do they even show the PFL, for fuck's sakes? Does anybody even know where the PFL streams except for MMA Twitter fucking dicks sitting around playing with their little baby nut sacks all night? Who the fuck watches the PFL? I mean, seriously, to be fair here, I know you have to because it's part of your fucking job, but short of degenerate shit rats sitting around with absolutely fuck all pussy and drugs to do on a Saturday night, who watches the fucking PFL, man? I mean,
no, I got you. I understand. No, I get it. And just to answer your question, it's on HBO Max, I think. It's going to be streaming.
The PFL is?
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's great. I'd like to suck HBO's dick, so I'm already subscribed to them. But newsflash to the PFL, nobody else on planet Earth has HBO Max. So if you're trying to get the most fucking eyeballs, y'all better reach out to Fox.
I'm gonna bring it back here. It's Bellator. It's on HBO Max, and PFL. I think. God damn, it's so goddamn confusing. It's the same.
Are they still
company.
separate entities?
No, they're not. But they're not. But they work.
I know they sold, but I'm saying they're still running separate shows. So Bellator has its own show still.
Mm-hmm.
Did we find out why the fuck they're doing that? Are they doing that for tax purposes? I mean, really, what in the fuck? You got two absolute shitbird leagues that joined forces to be an even bigger shitbird, but then decided to still run as separate shitbirds and cost themselves double the cost. How the fuck am I such a broke shitbird? And these guys have billions of dollars to apparently just catch on fucking fire, man. I just, all joking aside, for the life of me, I can't understand why they would run them as separate companies. The PFL bought Bellator. The only reason you would do that, I mean, listen, we've seen the UFC buy Pride. We've seen them buy Strike Force. Yeah. We've seen them fucking buy the WEC. And you know what the fuck they do? Fucking gobble up every fucking person they want. Yep. They throw away the fucking bones. And they devour it. They take all their content, they put on they fucking Genghis Khan it. They come in, they strip the bones, put it in the back of the satchel, and burn the fucking rest. And to be fair, the UFC's been quite fucking successful doing that. What in the fuck are you morons doing? Running? I don't know. Again, maybe there's some taxes or something where they have to give all these fighters a certain amount of fights or something, so they need. Maybe there's something that I'm not seeing, but that just seems like such a fucking. They can't be that stupid, right? Surely they see what their numbers are. What the fuck?
No, and I think it's because you inherited an entire ass roster, so you do need to finish off those contracts. So you put out Bellator champions, and then you send Bellator or what they call it Bellator Championship Series, something like that, and then you send that shit to Europe. Like this weekend, Bellator Paris on Friday night, Paris. Right? Listen. And they're doing. I think they're doing Ireland sometimes. I don't even know. There's a bunch of shit going on, but none of the Bellator cards are here.
Listen, Bellator, PFL, whoever you dicks are, 2 words for you guys. You know what they need? They need 2 words. They need Joe Silva. Uncle Joe would come in, fire half the fucking roster.
Oh yeah, immediately.
Like, what's your fucking? You're out of here. What's your fucking? You're out of here. Call LFA, Jungle Fight. Y'all gonna have a whole new roster. Uncle Joe, there's rumors of Joe Silva just coming in and cutting you to your face, stone cold blooded, Jack. Joe Silva was an animal. That's what they need. They need Uncle Joe to come back and just, I mean, again, bro, not to just completely, not like we're getting fighter interviews or anything on this show. And God forbid, don't hold Cage Side Press accountable for anything I come on and run my fucking mouth about, because I am, Lord knows, fucking don't hold y'all accountable for anything that I say. But again, I'm just baffled by how the fuck the PFL and Bellator are even running their company at this point. Like, all these business decisions fucking shock me. Like, what on earth are they fucking doing?
I can't.
I was fucking ranting and talking so much shit that I completely lost my train of thought when I was even fucking bitching about with them. But needless to say, I don't fucking know if they'll even stay in fucking business with this shit. Like, they've got some good fighters, but I don't have any idea when the next Bellator or PFL fucking card is. Okay, anyways, rant over, bringing us back to Francis Ngannou. I think he's played his fucking cards, and he's in a bad way now, because now he has to come back to MMA. And again, I mean, I'm sure there is somebody for him to fight that will be slightly formidable. Sure, but nobody knows the guy's name, right? And before any of you dicks speak up and go, oh, he's a fucking 6'7" judoka from suck my dick. He's a nobody from nowhere to all the Joe Blow assholes that they need to care. They're probably going to try to put it on pay-per-view or something. You know what I mean? Which is, in my opinion, the stupidest thing in the world. The stupidest. Like, let's be very fucking clear here, man. Francis Ngannou is not a pay-per-view draw. I'm sorry to say it. On his own, he's not a pay-per-view draw. Boys and girls, there is probably 10 people who, I mean, from boxing and MMA. Bro, Lomachenko just fought fucking last weekend. He's not a pay-per-view draw, bro. There are very, very few people on their own. Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, and even Nate, I would put a bit of a question mark above at this point on his own. I don't think him and Jorge Masvidal is going to do that great. Tank Davis, Canelo Alvarez, John Jones. There are very few people who on their own could fight a broomstick and sell pay-per-views. I'm sorry to say, Francis Ngannou's not one of them. The reason that Francis Ngannou has done such crazy numbers recently, let's make no mistake about it, is because he was boxing Tyson fucking Fury and goddamn Anthony Joshua. That would be like coming in and fighting John Jones and fucking Tom Aspinall in MMA back to back. Of course, those fights are going to do big numbers. When fucking Francis Ngannou fights Shitbird McShitgee from fucking the PFL and they put that behind a paywall, nobody is going to pay for that, boys and girls. I'm sorry to break the news to you. Nobody's paying for that except for fucking dicks like you, Eddie, that have to.
So funny you say that. The last pay-per-view that PFL did, I remember that I can't remember what the number was that leaked out or came out, or the guesstimate that people put out there. But I did a play-by-play, right? A fight companion. Dude, I had a ton of fucking people watching, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? It's because nobody bought the damn pay-per-view. No one was trying to buy the pay-per-view. And when it was going to happen? Same thing. Same thing this time.
Absolutely.
So,
that will. I tell you what, man, we're on a fucking bit of a rant here. There's not a ton of fight news anyway, so we'll just go with it. You know what I actually think about the only thing that I've got any fucking faith in? Boxing is going to do what boxing does. Jake Paul's in literally a world of his own. But I think the PFL / Bellator, whatever the fuck, is just a absolute disaster waiting to happen. You know what I actually have faith in, though? Bare knuckle boxing. BKFC, where Mike Perry's at. That fuck, what's his name? Dave. What's the guy's name that runs it?
Fuck, Fieldman.
Dave Fieldman. Yeah. All things being equal, I kind of like the guy. He's got a bit of weird charm to him. Like I think that bare knuckle boxing is actually onto something. They have something compelling. It's interesting. It's different enough so that you don't get sucked into fucking being compared to the UFC. I think that's where the compelling fucking fights are at. Like, honestly, I think shit like that hurts the PFL too. It oversaturates the market. I'd rather watch Mike Perry box whoever the fuck he's going to box next in bare knuckle boxing than probably whoever the fuck they get to fight Francis Ngannou. Like, let's just say they get another legend for Mike Perry to box. I don't know. Insert fucking slugger. Yeah, Chris Lytle, whoever the fuck. They come up with somebody and we're like, holy shit. I would, pound for pound, I would probably rather watch that than Francis fight some, B, C level shitbird.
Sure.
Like, are we not, like, we all feel like that, right? Like, this is not going to do great for Francis. Again, congratulations on the bags he got, but that little run is done. Now we're stuck with the bad end of this shit.
Not only that, because David Feldman has done a great job with BKFC. And when I went to one championship in Denver last year, like half the media that was there was just sticking around because the weekend before was bare knuckle BKFC, and they there were things about some of the media stuff, but other than that, they said it was a phenomenal event, and they got Conor McGregor now. So if you put all those things together, like shit's working right now. We'll see what the future holds for them and everything, but they keep getting all these guys that leave MMA now. You speaking of Mike Perry, and I'll get to a point here in a second. Real quick, shout out to Frederick. Frederick, what's up? DC about to come back at welterweight. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm really digging bare knuckle, 100%. Otis was good, bro.
There he is.
Yeah, but Mike Perry, he wants to fight with Darren Till, and Darren Till said, "I'm not fighting Mike Perry." So Darren Till's boxing, who just said Travis Jr., like boxing, not bare knuckle, right? But the thing about Darren Till not wanting to fight Mike Perry and bare knuckle is just and now I lost my fucking train of thought, bro. What the fuck? Where was I going with that shit? Oh yeah, Darren Till said that he goes, no disrespect, but bare knuckles where you go when it's pretty much over, right? Your MMA career is over. He don't want to go there because he doesn't think it's over yet, so he's gonna go box instead. But what do you think about that? Do you think like bare knuckle is just where MMA fighters, I hate to say go to like retire or die, but is that where like MMA fighters just go after it's all over, or is that or are they gonna have like legit fucking like in their prime stars.
Well, listen, we can have a debate about whether bare knuckle is where MMA fighters go to die. But if Darren Till thinks that him boxing Julio Cesar Chavez fucking crazy as fuck dickweed shitbird Jr. is in any more prestigious of a fight, he's out of his fucking mind. If boxing and bare knuckle is sort of on your way out, he's doing the exact that's on the Jake Paul Mike Tyson card, right?
Yep.
Who the fuck do you think you're kidding, Darren Till? Now again, bro, all these motherfuckers out here getting some money. I ain't mad at you. Get your paper, bro. But let's not make it seem like Mike Perry and bare knuckle is beneath you when your next fight is a boxing match against an absolute shitbird on the undercard of a goddamn 60-year-old Mike Tyson and an ex-YouTube sensation. I mean, again, I ain't mad at you. Get your money, bro, but do not get on your high horse, for fuck's sakes. Like, we can have the debate on what bare knuckle is, but you boxing that dick definitely doesn't make you any fucking better, for fuck's sakes.
You know what I do not give a shit about when it comes to Darren Till, and no disrespect to Darren Till himself, is him fighting in MMA ever again. I do not care. You could not put him against anybody that I'm going to be like, oh, fuck yeah, Till, let's go, unless it's Mike Perry.
See?
And bare knuckle boxing. You give me Till, Mike Perry, and bare knuckle boxing, I'll watch that shit.
I sort of disagree with that. Okay. Just on the basis of, if I'm going to watch Darren Till fight, I want to see him do MMA. We were talking about this before he went live. I mean, I don't think he's an exceptionally good boxer. He's a good kickboxer. He's a good striker. He's got nice kicks. He's got decent grappling, I guess, for fuck's sakes. But
we're comparing him to Luke.
Fair enough. But he hasn't showed me it. Man, we live in such a crazy world now. Cocksucking, to be fair, Conor and Floyd got this whole thing fucking spiraled out of control way back when. But the thing that made that fight even remotely intriguing at the time, other than the fact that they were the absolute two biggest stars from said sports, was that most of Conor's wins came by boxing. I mean, he was decent with the legs too, but like, it was his game sort of revolved around it. And to be fair, I ain't watched Darren Till fight in the month of Sundays. Maybe most of his wins were by punch, but I feel like he was definitely a kicker as well. Maybe even predominantly kick heavy in his MMA game. At the very fucking least, it was a big part of his offensive fucking game plan when he was in MMA. It's not like he was just a straight up Diaz style brother boxer that barely threw a fucking kick, you know?
Yeah, no, and the kicks work for him really well when he could make 170. As soon as he was at a 170, those longer, stronger guys at 185, you know what I mean, started having to deal with those kicks. They didn't do shit, so he started throwing hands away more.
Listen,
so you're right.
Let's be real clear about it. I don't think a lot of people want to go see Mike Perry in that bare knuckle cage. Mike Perry's got something real. We talked about this in the last podcast, and quite frankly, I would like to see Mike Perry fight whoever their champion is, so that they can at least go ahead and make him the champion of that weight class because he deserves it. But Mike Perry's on fire right now. And these again, bro, these are different fucking things. We have to, as combat sports fans, start respecting that. And when somebody is able, to be fair to Ngannou, I know I shit on him a lot earlier, but when somebody's able to do what he did against Fury and have that impressive of a performance in a sport that's not his own, we really need to give that the fucking big ups that it deserves, because that shit's hard, bro. Mike Perry has made his way in bare knuckle boxing and found his way in there, but bare knuckle boxing is not MMA. It's not boxing. It's its own fucking thing. And whether you're fucking Paulie Malja, whatever the fucky, or your goddamn Luke fucking Rockhold coming from MMA, bare knuckles not necessarily going to be for you. It's a whole different ball of wax. So, like, to keep it a bean, I think Darren Till didn't want that smoke. I'm not calling him scary or no shit. I just, listen, I wouldn't want to go bare knuckle Mike fucking Perry either. God damn it.
No, hell no. This is Mike Perry's undefeated in bare knuckle. There you go.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Let's see. Till is one to talk. He's not big money and stuff. He never really has been. They tried to make him. The next, the year, the next, European hope or something, but whatever. On that note, since we were talking about BKFC, just make it quick on this one, because I've seen a lot of guys that go to bare knuckle that I honestly think should go to Karate Combat. I don't know if you're watching the Karate Combat. It's honestly a pretty good product. Like, if they have bigger names they had the president. I forget the fellow's name. I'm sorry, but the president Awesome who runs that whole thing. He has really done a really good job with it, bringing in Luke Rockhold, GSP's commentating. They had fucking Benson Henderson, Anthony Pettis not long ago, which is a fucking great fight. Like that product is really good.
You know what?
Could be the place to go.
You know what I think is one of the major problems with that product? The uniforms.
Sure.
I know it sounds fucked a little, and I get that that's the karate part of it,
Right.
but I think that's what turns people off. It makes people think of a point karate match.
Fight.
You don't think that these guys are about to knock each other the fuck out. Take all that shit off and put them in shorts, or even do the old school MMA shit where they can wear fucking patches all over, whatever. Make them look more like fighters or what we think of as fighters.
Yeah.
And I think it would sell a little better because I watched the what was it? Luke Rockhold and Joe Schilling. So I watched that. That was going viral. Their little karate combat match, and that was fun. Yeah, you're right. Like it is sort of surprising that doesn't get a little more play than it does. But I really think it's because, as stupid as it is, I think most people see that uniform and they're like, "Oh, this is dumb."
And maybe you might be right on that end too, but I don't know. I think they have a chance to make something happen with that and kind of change that perception. There's a chance. Who knows, right?
I
watch Rockhold and Schilling.
It's the pants. Nobody wants to see somebody fight in pants. It's weird. I mean, let's be real clear about it. It's weird watching somebody fight in pants. I think that's. I'm not bullshitting you. I think the pants is the thing that really sort of slow this whole product down. I don't think we're ready for it. We're not ready to see people fighting in pants and shit. It's strange.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they do it, man. You know what I like about their they call it the Pit. They had I think they had Craig Jones in there. I forgot who he was grappling, but he got this dude on the wall on the that slanted wall. I forgot what submission he pulled, but I was like, that is fucking fun. So just as a jiu-jitsu guy, that's just fun as fuck for me to watch. So I'm hoping to do more of that. But again, I think Karate Combat is one of those places where like a Darren Till should have gone. Right, like Darren Till should have gone.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, and for like Luke Rockhold, definitely complements his style way more than boxing or bare knuckle boxing.
100%. All right, fuck it. Let's talk about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul real quick since we were on that shit, and we'll get to the MMA. Don't worry, we got some shit coming on in MMA.
Listen, it's slow with him. Boxing is fucking hot right now, man. It really is. To be honest, bro, if you are an old school MMA fan and you've been one of these guys that's always hated boxing for a long time, I sort of understand why, but I'm telling you, we've been sort of saying this for a while, the last few years, and with the Saudi Arabians, I can't speak to whatever the fuck their politics are, but their money has made boxing so much fucking fun, man. They're getting all these fights fucking done. Fucking Gervonta Davis is fighting is it Frank Martin? Is that his name,
I think
Frank something. I think it's Frank Martin, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll find out.
Frank the Tank, if I'm not fucking mistaken.
Frank Martin,
Which Gervonta Davis should win that fight, but like that's a good fucking fight, man. Like, and then we opened the show talking about Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, the first fucking complete unification of the heavyweight belt in a month of fucking Sundays. And hey, listen, I've got a bunch of problems with Jake Paul, fucking Mike Tyson. But the fact that it's going to be live on Netflix and get watched by a billion fucking people, it's there's no denying it's a big fucking deal, man.
It's a big deal, and it's not really a gamble for Netflix. They could do that shit no matter what they're gonna do. Hell, they just picked up 2 NFL games. They're getting into streaming NFL now, right? So 2 NFL games. I want to say they're on Christmas. I'm not 100% sure. They're doing that. They just had the roast of Tom Brady live. Like they're getting into the streaming like live stuff. They're gonna be a major player in it, and just the fact that they got this one, they're gonna make big numbers off of this, 100%, right? If anything, it's because Mike Tyson, but also because everyone already has a Netflix account. I'm gonna have to get it back, but you're gonna have to, like, everyone has a Netflix account for the most part, so it kind of works well for that. Now they had a press conference this last week, and Mike Tyson said some shit like this right here. He goes, "I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is depending on it, because it will be." And because I watched the presser, and I'm sitting there going like, "Oh shit!" And Jake Paul's gotten pretty good at just looking confused at all times, so you couldn't tell if he was scared shitless or not. But I could just imagine he crapped his pants a little bit right there. So, dude. What do you think is gonna happen? Like, what do you really think is gonna happen? Know what? Deontay Wilder is worried that Jake Paul's gonna kill Mike Tyson. other people are just like, no, we're worried that Jake Paul's gonna die. Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
Well, okay, Jesus Christ Almighty, always with the theatrics, right? I don't think either one of them are going to fucking die for knock on wood. Jesus Christ, I don't think nobody's gonna die. Right. Mike Tyson's definitely not going to kill Jake Paul, as Jake Paul's 20-7 and in tremendous shape. And again,
he's a big. Have you seen him? Big boy shit.
Yeah, and as many fond memories as we all have of Mike Tyson, and as hard as he hits that bag when he's training, he's still damn near 60 years old. I'm not saying he can't knock Jake out. He's not going to kill him, boys and girls. That I can goddamn guarantee you. He will
that ain't your daddy's Mike Tyson right there, man. It's not.
Right. So, again, everybody always does the silly shit. Nobody's going to fucking die. But listen, this particular, the screenshot, you got the perfect screenshot up there. Mike fucking Tyson looks like his grandkid just tickled his goddamn belly. That's not look at Mike Tyson.
I get it. Yeah, he's almost laughing.
He looks like a happy old granddad right there.
Yeah.
Now I'm tell you something. This fight is going to do tremendous because most people sucking up oxygen on this planet are fucking morons. People are going to buy this fight up and they're going to talk that crazy shit like you just talked. Jake Paul's going to kill him. Mike Tyson's so devastating. Burp. I think these motherfuckers are pulling the wool over our eyes. Did you see that? Mike Tyson tickled his belly. He's fucking with him. He tickled his belly and then smiled real big like he is on that screenshot you got right there. These motherfuckers ain't fooling me. Now listen, I'm not saying that when they get in there, they ain't going to get after it. Mike ain't going to swing hard a couple times. But this is a payday. The fact that we are all so invested in this really just speaks to our fucking downfall as degenerate fight fans, but most of everybody's downfall is just being fucking morons. I mean, it's a 60-year-old guy who's boxed one time in the last 20 years against a fucking dude who started boxing about 4.5 years ago. This is about as fucking non-meaningful as it could possibly be, yet the fucking entire earth will be talking about this fight when it happens. I mean, I don't want to be just completely cynical, but most people are fucking morons. Quite frankly, I'm trying to figure out how I can sell myself to all you morons. I need to get rich, and there's a bunch of just complete dummies out there. I mean, again, to your point, there's a lot of people out there that think Mike Tyson might kill Jake Paul. Like, they fucking actually think he might kill him. That's how stupid they are. Now, to be fair, the people that are saying that fucking Jake Paul might kill Mike Tyson is almost 60. Jake Paul, at the very least, does hit very hard. Now, I don't think he will kill Mike Tyson, but all things being equal, if he catches Mike perfectly and knocks him out, I do think he can fuck Mike up a little bit. Most 60-year-old men are not getting caught clean as hard as another human can fucking hit, in a bad way. We watch fucking fights all the time. You can get clipped in a bad way. I mean, we see knockouts all the time where it's like, whoa, that looked horrible. And that was another 20, 30-year-old guy getting cleaned up like that. We don't usually see 60-year-old men just get cleaned the fuck up.
Yeah, ever.
We have the potential to see a 60-year-old man. I mean, listen, bro, again, Jake Paul is not a great boxer, but he's a big man that hits hard. Did you see what he did to Tyron Woodley? Did you see what he did to Ben Askren? And before any of you goofy fucking cunts out there are like, well, those guys can't box. That's not my fucking point. My point is they were men in their early 30s in relatively good shape that he fucking sent to the land of wind and ghosts. If he can do that just power-wise to a 30-year-old man, and fuck, that was like 2.5, 3 years ago. Jake's done nothing but take steroids and fucking do push-ups since then. So one can imagine he punches harder now than he did when he fought Tyron Woodley. Like, if he can knock out that dude, if he catches Mike clean, he might not. It could fuck Mike up a little. Again, I don't think he'll kill him, but like, this might be the last time we do this 60-year-old man taking the fucking fight shit.
I hope it is. Fuck, I'm done with that shit, honestly. All right. Moving on. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, fucking this picture is kind of wild. I don't know if you watched this last weekend from St. Louis, and there's not a lot to talk about really on that one.
There is,
but not a lot. But this picture right here. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was saying, listen? I'm gonna tell you something right now. I love fucking Derek Lewis as much as the next guy, but I was terrified he was gonna whip his hog out.
Dude, when he pulled his cup out, I thought that shit was coming out too. I'm like, yo, no.
When he pulled his cup out, I was like, Jack, he's about to. You remember when motherfucking Randy Moss mooned the goddamn Cleveland Packers fans, and then that motherfucker came to practice and he said, "Straight cash, homie. Next time I might wave my dick at him." I thought Derek Lewis was about to retire and was about to say, "Fuck it." On the way out the door, I'm gonna wave my fucking fire hose at all y'all.
Not as funny as that, but this happened. It was Mateus Rebecki got the shit kicked out of him with Carlos Ferreira. That's a nasty fucking picture right there. I just want to put that on there. That was fucking nasty.
Listen, that's a horrible fucking thing. And I don't want to get stuck on this for too much, but I have seen
just a second.
people like pointing out the amount of money he made for taking this beating. Now, to be fair, if he's a new fighter and he got 5-5 or 10-10 or whatever, that's a fucking hell of a beating to take for 10 grand. But that's also the risk that anybody that gets in that fucking octagon takes. You cannot do this hindsight shit, because there's also guys that have made 10 grand that got armbarred in the first minute that didn't get a bruise on their nose. They got fucking 10 bands that walk in and walk the fuck out. You can't be like, oh my God, this is terrible. They all should be making 100 grand a fight. Like, it's not that fucking simple, man. Just because dude got the tail end of one, that's fucking horrible. He did look that was fucking terrible. That fight looked like maybe it should have got stopped a little sooner than it did, but sorry for him.
Oh, that was god awful, dude, for real. God damn, I can't find the fucking thing I was looking for. All right, fuck it. I'll fucking play it some of the time. The other fight that happened on that one. Now this guy wanted the main event. He didn't get the main event, but Joaquin Buckley got the win over fucking. Oh man, good fighter. I can't remember his fucking. I can't fucking remember his name. Otis, fucking get me on that one. But anyway, Buckley got really upset that Daniel Cormier and Michael Bisping and Chael Sonnen kind of laughed at his call out of Conor McGregor. He called it Conor McGregor in the cage, right? And he tweeted out, I want to say yesterday or the day before, he goes, quote, "Let this be known, DC MMA, Bisping, and Chael Sonnen, y'all mamas raised some hoes. Y'all really trying to twist up my words, knowing damn well what I said in that cage, but it's okay. We can all have some fun 100%, right?" Well, Daniel Cormier didn't play that. Daniel Cormier got mad, tweeted back at him or quote tweeted him, say, "Shut up, pussy. Maybe listen. You had a dumbass call out. You're getting talked about by 3 of the biggest voices in the game. Maybe listen. It was the worst call out in history. Don't let winning a few fights at 170 get you too excited, bruh. Don't mention Audrey." I don't know what we're talking about with Audrey.
I mean, I assume that's his mama's name.
I'm assuming it's his mom. But so anyway, Buckley sort of took up like a step back-ish, but he goes, he tweeted back at him going, "Yeah, you funny, pretending like you don't know what I'm talking about still. I don't care if y'all say it's the worst call out. The point is you saying I was calling woman/grandma's hoes. Nah, y'all the hoes." So he basically said, like, look, I wasn't talking about your mom. I was talking about you, the hoe. Your mom raised the hoes, basically what he's saying. So either way, it's back and forth. But DC coming back calling him a pussy made me fucking laugh, because I'm like, that is a UFC employee fucking broadcaster talking about fuck you shut up pussy, like, yo.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna get in any fucking trouble for that.
Well, thus this comment from Frederick saying DC about to come back at welterweight. No, DC would have to stop eating for that, and that ain't gonna happen.
What did DC and them say? They just said that it was a dumbass call out, right? Like a bad usage of your time after a good win in a prime spot, right? Like,
not just him though. Everyone said that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Like, unless I missed something, if that's all they said, I got some bad news for you, Mr. Buckley. Everybody sucking in fucking oxygen right now felt that. I mean, come on, my guy. You can't even be that oblivious. Listen, at the end of the day, closed mouths don't get fed.
100%.
Fair enough. But come on, my guy. Come on. You know you ain't getting the Conor McGregor fight. Ain't nothing personal. Most people ain't getting the Conor McGregor fight, bro. Bilal, remember the name, ain't getting the Conor McGregor fight, bro. Like, Arman Sarjukian ain't getting the Conor fight, bro. Like, no disrespect, Joaquin Buckley, but you ain't nowhere in that universe. Bro. Like, what the fuck? It was genuinely the worst call out ever. That's worse than when I was calling out CM Punk. Like, CM Punk probably caught more wind of my call out than Conor called of yours. It's not fucking happening. It's not even, they were right. It was the worst call out ever.
That was pretty bad. And I was watching the fight on mute. I was at a graduation on Saturday, but so I was watching the fight on mute, so I didn't hear the call out. And then I looked on Twitter, and everyone was like, "What the fuck was that? You tripping?"
I'll give him this.
Yeah.
I'll give him this. It got everybody talking.
Oh, 100%.
So if he was to come out and say, "All right, dummies, of course I knew I wasn't going to get the Conor fight, but the plan was to just get my name on all y'all's tongues." Well, then you sly devil, you won. You did the trick. Now, it's all of us calling you a fucking moron. and but I mean, if your fucking plan was just to fucking generate some goddamn sort of viral moment, I suppose you did that. But if you thought that you actually, that's so funny. If you actually thought that's fucking cute, if you actually thought you had a chance, the snowball's chance in hell at getting Conor McGregor, well, then that's just goddamn adorable. I mean, absolutely fucking adorable if you actually thought you had a chance of getting that fight, my guy. I mean, this dude boxed Floyd Mayweather, my boy. Like, you're not even close.
I get why he did it. You know what I mean? You got, shoot your shot as much as you can. But I was just like, bro. Now, he did take it back-ish, and he goes, he aimed for Gilbert Burns. Okay, but what? Gilbert Burns.
Now, see, again, you
too much.
No. But that's way more feasible. You probably ain't getting Gilbert either. But now that's a tree. Now that's a tree to bark up. Conor's again, like, bro, I might as well call out Jake Paul. I mean, seriously, like you're not getting that fight, bro. Of all the fights.
Who are you gonna? Oh man, fucking
CM Punk. I just said it. I don't know whether you were Google it or whatever. I just fucking made that point fucking earlier. I had a better chance of getting that fight than he did with Conor. I mean, it's all joking aside. That was never going to happen. Gilbert Burns probably ain't going to happen, but at least Gilbert's there. He's fighting. He's in your weight class. He's slightly obtainable. You mentioning Conor again. It's like the biggest name in combat sports, bro. What the fuck?
Even Conor was laughing at that. He's like, yeah, okay, shut the fuck up. Anyway, all right, moving on. Let's see what else we have here on the list. Bader joins the cast of the Smashing Machine alongside The Rock. Okay, never mind. No one cares.
No, nobody cares about that. Listen, fuck all that. Who would you rather? Okay, so it seems like John Jones has a date. I think it's going to be Stipe for all intents and purposes. It seems like he's going to be fighting Stipe. I'm just praying he gives us one more after Stipe. And again, I guess you never know. I don't want to completely overlook Stipe here. Maybe the old man fucks around and gets lucky. But if John beats Stipe, which he fucking should and better, who would you rather see John fight for his final fight? Tom Aspinall or Alex Pereira? Because John, as you know, recently came out and sort of started gumming at Alex,
like a
saying if he was coming up to heavyweight, he would be going for 3 belts, and he's got this classic run. Now, I do think that that's an interesting fight, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump out the window first and say, especially, I think Tom Aspinall has Curtis Blades in London or wherever the fuck over
304 Manchester.
So if he gets that win back, which he's got lost to Curtis Blades, but it was a fluky sort of weird thing where he hurt himself.
The knee injury.
If he comes out and does what he's supposed to, the knee injury. If he does what he's supposed to against Curtis Blades, that's the fight that I want to see. I think that makes him the guy at heavyweight. And if John can beat the old man Stipe, which again, I think in hindsight, it is a stupid fight for John to take because it's just sort of a speed bump to what, even if he beats Stipe, especially if Tom beats Curtis Blades, everybody's going to be screaming for that fight. But the Alex Pereira fight is interesting. What fight would you rather see him fight if he only gets one there at the end?
Oh man, the Brits are gonna come for me on this one.
Oh,
and not because the fight would suck, because it wouldn't. It'd be a great fucking
there's no
fight.
Wrong choices.
Yeah, it'd be a great fucking fight. Tom Aspinall, John Jones. I'm sick of the bitching. I consume this shit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? This is what I do. With all my time, really. But I got so sick of the complaining and the bitching and he's scared, he's this, he's ducking, he's selling, folks. Okay. First of all, he's selling. Okay. Both fights. He's selling the Aspinall fight. he signed the Pereira fight, right? Whichever one looks like it's going to do bigger numbers, that's what he's going to do. Now, personally, selfishly, and nothing to do with Tom Aspinall himself, not even do it with the people that are bitching about it, but I'm just sick of it. I want to see John Jones Alex Pereira because it'd be interesting to see the light heavyweight champ who holds the belt you used to hold for a long, long time, come up and try to take your other belt, right? That to me would be a lot more fun. Now, what fight I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be Aspinall and John Jones. If Johnny doesn't say, you know what, fuck this, I beat Stipe, my legacy cemented. Because let's be honest, this is a legacy fight. We all know, you know, I know. We could put all the money we want to on this fight. Johnny Bones is winning this fucking fight against Stipe. There's no question about that. I think. Okay,
he should. But see, this is why if I was John Jones, I'd just ask for the Aspinall fight right now. Because if it's John's last fight, in my opinion, if he wins it, then all bets are off. But even if he loses it, if you look at all the other greats in our sport, they didn't just lose one. They didn't just lose one fight at the end of their career. They lost a few. Mm-hmm. If John does lose his last fight to Tom Aspinall as the guy, the young guy, who could really hold it against him, to be completely fair? I mean, he lost in his last fight ever against the fucking heir to parent. Of course he did. Now, if Stipe Miocic, who looked like fucking Grandma Christmas walking into the goddamn last UFC event he was at, if that old man knocks you out, it's still just your last fight, but it's almost like it almost counts as like a real loss. Whereas I feel like if you got beat by Tom Aspinall, it's sort of one of those weird. It's Derek Brunson versus Anderson Silva. I don't count that.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, but I know you didn't beat Anderson. Right. You beat the ghost of Anderson at that point.
You beat the ghost.
You know, if Tom Aspinall was to come out and beat John, don't get me wrong, leading up to the fight, we'd all be there for it. But in hindsight, if he did, we'd all go, well, of course he did. It was John's last fight. John's 37. He's had injury after injury. Of course he got beat by a fucking prime 28-year-old, 31-year-old heavyweight phenom. You know, what the fuck. But if he loses to Stipe, it's sort of like, ooh, like we can't. You know, Stipe's a fucking old beat down man too. What the fuck? Like, you better not lose to Stipe, or this one like really counts. What the fuck? That's like one of your contemporaries, so to speak.
Now you just won me over. Now I really do want to see Johnny Bones fight Tom Aspinall after Stipe, because if Johnny loses, you're right. Younger, the next generation, all that. If Johnny wins,
now, I will say this. Forget about it. And I will say this. I think Chael Sonnen said this, so I want to give credit where it's due. Not like fucking he would stumble across this goddamn piece of content, but Chael made a great point about the Alex Pereira fight that I completely agree. If by some chance they were to do Alex Pereira versus John Jones, do it at 205. Because now I think Alex Pereira is like, okay, he's the real, like, we got a real 205 guy back since John Jones left. Let him find another dude at 205. If he comes out and knocks them out again like he's been doing, let John come back to 205. Make him drain himself a little to get back there, which I know John would never do, to be completely fair. But that it just at least makes the fight interesting. And if John, again, was able to do it, you're just talking about just God tier status shit. What the fuck? Like,
be fucking insane. You can never, there will be no, like,
no, absolutely, yeah. I mean, to be fair, if he beats fucking Stipe, and really, to be completely fair, even if he beats up Stipe's old ass and then decides to quit, it's still going to be hard to touch his resume. We will always be able to hold the Tom Aspinall thing against him, but in all actuality, he can stop right now. I mean, fucking Habib did. Habib just up and quit, and we're all like, well, he's the GOAT. Well, then don't say John can't do it now. John could even say fuck Stipe, and we would just have to give him the GOAT mantle. What you gonna do? Deny him?
Right.
Start in with your picogram talk. I mean, if he ever fought again, he'd just be the GOAT. And what are you gonna do?
That thing too is, and the Stipe fight is all about fighting the guy that people consider as the greatest heavyweight in UFC history, Stipe. Right? A lot of people are saying that. They say, I still think it's Kane, but I'm super biased on that. But like as far as like defenses and all that shit, I guess it's Stipe. I'm not sure, but that's the whole idea behind that. That's it. It's
right, but that seems like such a. I don't know, like, yeah, he was. And again, I guess maybe John was too. So maybe this is the appropriate fight as they're both old. But it's one of those deals where, yes, John, if you beat Stipe, technically you would be beating the most accredited heavyweight champion of all time, but you didn't beat him when he was that guy.
That guy.
Because listen, if John beats Stipe almost 1,000% will never fight again. So it's the same sort of deal. If you beat him in his very last fight, John, did you really beat Stipe? I mean, I fucking guess you did. You know, listen, you beat Stipe as much as Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson if he does, which in my book is to say that he fucking didn't. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you beat up somebody when they're 60 years old, I don't care who they was when they were 20. It ain't the same fucking win, boys. It just ain't.
Yeah.
I could whip my dad's ass right now. It don't count.
Ain't counting.
There was a time where that man scared the shit out of me. Now he's fucking 73 and he's got a breathing machine. I throw him through that fucking wall now. You think I could be like, you know what I mean? Like, when you whip said ass counts a lot. What the fuck? If you catch somebody when they're on an oxygen machine, and I know Tyson's not exactly fucking on a breathing machine, but like, he's fucking an old man. But like, I'm not about to just let this whole fucking world act like Mike Tyson's not 60 years old, boys. Fucking no. He's old.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. It's, yeah, no, you convinced me though. That Tom Aspinall fight afterwards would be the shit. All right. What else we got? All right, couple fight announcements, and we'll talk a little bit about this weekend's card. Rose Namajunas, well, just one fight announcement. The rest of them don't really. Yeah. Rose Namajunas against Macy Barber, UFC Denver headliner. I forgot the date. I have it written down, but the thought of this one is, and that's on July 13th in Denver, according to the notes. The thought behind this one is that the winner gets a title shot. So either Barber gets a title shot or Rose gets back out there for a title shot. How much do you care about this fight?
I mean, listen, it's a good fight. I love Thug Rose. We all know what to expect when she gets in the cage. Other than a very few weird performances, she's always an action-packed fighter. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm just not that excited. Women's MMA overall has me in a bit of a snooze fest right now. Kayla Harrison was a little exciting, but I need something to spice it up a little. Maybe. Quite frankly, I need more than that. I need and not like Ronda, because Ronda's it's enough with her. But we need a young Ronda. We need somebody to really shake the game up. We need the young fucking female version of Conor McGregor, man. We need a badass bitch that can fight her ass off, that comes in and talks her shit. We need the motherfucking Meg the Stallion of MMA to just come in here, start whipping ass, sucking dick, posting OnlyFans accounts. I mean, we need a bitch to just come in and just flip our. I'm serious. Dude, I'm joking.
You're saying we need female John Jones, basically.
Well, John Jones. Well,
on some wild shit.
Yeah, maybe. Listen, the problem is, in all actuality, you do like Paige Van Zandt almost had it. Like real talk. If Paige Van Zandt could fight like Thug Rose, she might have been what I was talking about. You need this sort of mixture. You got to be able to really fight, but then we need a girl that can really fight. We need Amanda Nunes with Ronda Rousey's personality, man. Hell, even Cyborg, as fucked as it was, had the physique where she sort of looks like Vanderlei in a dress, and it was a thing, and it was a thing that sort of built.
Even Dana joked around it. God
yeah, I mean, it's fucked, but like at least it had something. Again, Cyborg was also a very, very devastating fighter. So there's that too, but I just good fight with Thug Rose. But in general, I'm so bored with women's MMA overall, man. I really am waiting for somebody to come in and turn that shit. We know that there's potential there. We know what Ronda used to do. We know what Cyborg used to do. We know what Gina Carano used to do. We know there's the ability for that, but it definitely takes the right one. Like I said, Paige Van Zandt seemed like she sort of had it, and then she got that ass whooped a few times and sent on down the way. But like, we need somebody to really come in and capture our. Again, we might have that with Kayla Harrison. Maybe she's, you know, and maybe we need a couple more of those at the same time to really get this shit jumping.
I don't think we're gonna get it for another 5 to 10 years because this new generation of girls really that are training young, like one of those is gonna come through and just be a badass, 100%. It's just gonna be a minute. We got to wait a little bit. Right now, like you said, it's a little quiet. It's a little whatever.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't mind a female Kobe. Somebody go and put that Trump hat on, whip somebody's ass, big up Trump, get the female for Trumps going, If she was a Mexican female, that'd be even better. We just get it cooked. You know, Candace Owens, make no mistake about it, Candace Owens does big numbers because she's black. Like, she talks about a lot of shit. She's a smart broad, good looking broad. She does big numbers because she's black. We get a fucking female what the fuck is who's the champ right now? The Mexican female. Fucking
Alexa Grasso.
Son, we got to give her. We need to turn
Alexa Grasso
into the female. Son, I ain't lying. If we get her on some Henry Cejudo, Colby Covington shit, rooting for Donald Trump and fucking talking that shit, you'd either love her or hate her. But the important thing is you would care when she fought.
You watch
the other shit's there. The skill's there. Talk your shit. Think people hate you. But honestly, all bullshit aside, I mean, listen, I would say that something like that's cheap, stupid, and doesn't work. But people like Henry Cejudo have literally proved me wrong. We all know we know Henry's smart. He be doing podcasts and shit. We know he's actually a very intelligent person. We literally, at least Colby blurs the lines a little. We see Henry on podcast with Mike Tyson being very eloquent. We know for a fact what he does is an act. But now look, we know he can get down in the cage too. But we care about his fights because he puts on the bullshit. It fucking works, man. I know it ain't for everybody, but like, again, if Alexa Grasso decided to turn heel and like she got like a PR and like an acting coach and did the whole bit, I literally think it would change her career. Again, Colby Covington was a fucking nobody until he started shooting his mouth off. He didn't become a better fighter. He just started fucking talking. Now, listen, a lot of people hate him, but there's no denying that he's a more popular, more sellable fighter now.
100%. All right, man. Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
I think that's it. Who the fuck fights this weekend? Does anybody even give a shit?
Bad. Hold up. I got you. Main event, Edson Barboza against Lerone Murphy.
Edson Barboza's in a main event of a UFC card in 2024? Is that real?
Yeah.
Is it in Brazil?
No, it's in the Apex.
Well, that makes sense.
Sir, it's in the Apex.
Christ almighty. I didn't even know that Barboza was still alive.
Okay, I'll name up a couple of fighters on this card. Edson Barboza, Lerone Murphy, Chaos Williams against Carlston Harris, Themba Garimbo, The Rock's buddy, against Ramiz Brahimaj, and then Adrian Yanez and Benicio Salvador is on this card. Adrian Yanez, the Yanez fight, and the Yanez Salvador fight to me is going to be the fight of the night. But fuck all that. I got a question for you before we go, because this shit has been bugging the fuck out of me for a minute. UFC Apex kicked off because of COVID. We know how that goes. It was, made their own little bubble in Vegas. I've covered cards in the Apex many times. People bitch about the Apex so damn much, right? So why is this card in the Apex? Why aren't they going back out to the city? Dana's been saying he's gonna go back out. They're going back on the road. Blah 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 blah. Motherfuckers, do you want to dish out UFC ticket prices for this card this weekend if it was in like fucking, I don't give a shit, Tampa Bay? Okay, are you dishing out $100+ for Edson Barboza against Lerone Murphy? Motherfuckers, come on, man. Get out of here with that shit. These are the kind of cards you need the Apex for. All right. Let the weirdos that'll spend $1,500, $2,000, whatever it is, for a ticket to the Apex, let them do that. Right? Now I understand. People are hungry for live cards in their cities. I totally get it. Okay. But here's the next step. Let's say, and Dana did say at the end of this year, and who knows what's going to happen, but he did say at the end of this year, by the end of this year, they're going to stop doing Apex cards. I don't believe it, but we'll see what happens. The next step is, okay, cool. Come into Toledo, whatever the fuck, or Oklahoma City or whatever, fucking blah. And everyone's going to be like, oh, what a weak-ass card, Dana. I'm not fucking going to that shit. When is the bitching going to fucking stop? Now I'm saying you can't bitch. Your money's going to be paid, right? But you going to shit on the Apex that much? Talking about this needs to be in front of crowds? Really? Come on, man.
No, that's that. But that's what people do, man. People are crybabies. They're going to bitch either way. I do wonder whether the events will sell or not, because I mean, shit, this last week's event, shout out to fucking Derek Lewis, but it was a pretty shitty card other than his fight, and it was in St. Louis. Now, I don't know what the ticket sales were like. Maybe it seemed to be a packed house, so to speak, but like, I don't, I have no idea, to be fair.
UFC 301 in Brazil, bro. All right. Alexander Pantoja against Eve Usyk. Pay-per-view. Move that shit over here. It's not selling out.
Yeah.
Brazil's not going to sell out. It's not going to sell out in Brazil. And it almost never sells out unless you have like a massive, and I love Pantoja as much as the next person, but he's not Anderson Silva. He's not Alex Pereira. He's not any of those, right? So, but move that card to the States. It's still not selling out. Come on now. What are we talking about here? Do you really want to see an Apex card in fucking San Diego? No.
And
no,
you
don't.
I don't mean to just completely piss and shit all over like the PFL every chance I get, but that's the uphill battle they have.
Oh,
the
100%.
fact that the UFC is having a problem doing this and needs to sort of consolidate certain cards to make it. The fact that they're having a problem means the PFL should probably just fucking start promoting fucking midget wrestling or something. Are you allowed to say midget anymore? I don't think you're on my bed.
I don't think so. I don't care.
Little fucking people, like they need to like pack in the MMA shit, because if the UFC is sort of oversaturating itself, the PFL is fucked.
Yeah, no, it's not good. When I mean, I hate to compare it this way, but I mean, most PFL and Bellator cards recently are kind of Apex cards. And that's their main shit.
Exactly.
That's their main shit.
Right. Their big cards is an Apex card. That's no fucking bueno if you're a fucking multi-million-dollar company, bro.
I'd like to think that PFL has a plan. Okay, they got to have a plan for this thing. It's got to be a long-term plan that they're not gonna catch up to the UFC. I don't think anyone can, but I think they're gonna make headway. But it's gonna be like 2-3 years from now, and until then, we're gonna be doing the same old song and dance. Like, who's watching this shit, right? Obviously, I am, but like, who's watching this? Like, you know. But honestly, dude, PFL guys, they get good fights. It's just you never hear them. That's the sad part. You don't hear them. So
again, bro, if the UFC needs a little bit of star power in their women's division,
right,
it goes to show you, like the PFL is going to need a lot more than just good fights. It's not about that no more. Like you need somebody that's got star power, and and I mean real star power too, not just like it's going to be hard to draw eyeballs from all the other shit going on to the PFL.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's just my thing. I get people wanting live cards from the UFC. Totally understand it. But man, let's relax a little bit and see if they have them build up these cards and everything. Because you're right. This last weekend, as fun as it was, some of the fights, I wasn't. You know what I mean? If I wasn't covering cards, would I have watched it? I don't think so. Honestly.
Let me tell you something. A card is only as good as it is on paper. It doesn't matter how good the fights end up being, right? Because if the card's no good on paper, you don't tune in to find out how good the fucking fights were. There are degenerate fight fans like us that will tune in no matter what, and then afterwards we're like, see, y'all didn't see that shit, but that's boom, 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 boom. But to the regular fight dick, it don't matter. They're like, who's fighting this weekend? Do I know any of these guys or girls? Am I going to tune in? A lot of fans make their decision right then. If it's not sexy on paper, they're like, fuck it. So then dicks like us can come on here and be like, oh my God, this was nobody gives a fuck. A few people will go back, but you'll watch the highlights on Twitter and you'll fuck off. The fight happens before it happens. Like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson will be big because we want to watch it happen right fucking then. It's big beforehand. It might end up sucking. It might end up being a good fight, but we're all going to watch because it's exciting fucking now. If you look at a fucking fight card on paper and you're like, next week's fights, this Saturday night's fights, come Sunday morning, them could have been the greatest fucking fights the earth ever seen. Nobody's going to goddamn watch.
No.
We'll catch I'm not fucking watching. God forbid I got anything else to do. I'm going and doing it. I'll watch the highlights on Twitter. And if it ends up being great fights, I'm sorry I missed it, but the fights happen before, man.
Right. No, 100%. All right, short little headlines, nothing too crazy. Michelle Pereira, rescuing animals from historic floods in Brazil. There's a crazy floods in Brazil going on. This dude's on a boat helping people and rescuing animals. All right, fucking MVP. What else we got? Tyson Fury headbutted somebody. That was fucking dumb. Not Tyson Fury's dad.
John Fury.
Yeah. Headbutted somebody. Awesome. Jared Cannonier and Nasruddin Imavov will be the main event for UFC Louisville. Okay, makes sense. And then Murad Davashvili, he posted a video. He was in a 5-car accident, and he ended up being okay. But it was just like we're all sitting there going like, "Damn, that was close one." Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Appreciate the hell out of you guys. We went an hour 6 minutes. A lot of fun tonight. Yeah, dude. Wow, we just fucking love it when this goes smooth and fun. Shout out to everyone who tuned in. Frederick, Otis, everyone who tuned in. We love the fuck out of you guys. Shout out to CapeSidePress.com and the entire team. You can follow Fred at Gen3Jesus on Twitter and X. I think is the same one. I'm at Ela32 on Twitter. I'll never call X. I have a hard time calling that shit X. All right. Oh man, I almost sometimes these days I almost forget the fucking outro. But whatever. For myself, the entire team, Fred, everybody, love the hell out of you guys. Good night and good night, Wilshire.